Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at theDove.us. Welcome back, and our special guest today is David Pickup. He's an MA and he's a licensed marriage and family therapist as well as a reparative therapist, and formerly a board member with Parents of Friends of Ex-Gays and Gays, better known as PFOX. And PFOX ran a billboard campaign in a southern state, and needless to say, it was quite controversial. We want to talk to him about that as well. Hi, David. How are you, my friend?
Fine. How are you doing?
Good. Merry Christmas to you. Good to see you. So, first of all, what is the mission of PFOX?
The mission of PFOX is to offer, well, it's inherent in the name, Parents and Friends of Ex-Gays. It's to promote the fact that homosexuality is not something that is naturally inborn, that there's a cause and effect nature to it. And PFOX helps those who are working out of homosexuality into heterosexuality with support systems, through families, through the organization themselves, through friends, as we call them, and to support the journey of the ex-gay man or woman into a life of what they believe they were truly born for, of heterosexuality.
Fascinating. Now, before we get into more details on it, what happened with the billboard campaign?
Well, we decided and by the way, I should say something. I'm an advisor to the board of PFOX right now, okay, just so you know.
Okay.
And we decided that in Virginia, it was a good place to offer another side of the story, a side of the story in which most of the mainstream media doesn't seem to want to know. And that is our viewpoints that we're expressing. So we're also appealing to science. And so to get that word out, because our information is constantly being sequestered and hindered from getting out, we thought a billboard would be a very good way to explain from scientific standpoints through research that no one is born gay.
All right. And
thus
so
helping.
Explain the billboard.
Well, it indicates that a Northwestern University study in the year 2000 indicated that through identical twin studies, even though identical twins are born with the exact same genetic makeup, the same genes, it was only about somewhere around 50% of if one was gay, then the other one was gay. And so the point is that if homosexuality were truly something that was absolutely genetic, then the percentage of one being gay and the other being gay is going to be somewhere around 99%, 98%, at least somewhere around 90%, but it's way lower than that. So the point is there's another story to this, and there are environmental, emotional causes, usually during the developmental years, that actually are causes of homosexuality. And so we promoted this billboard in an effort to get the truth out there.
Wow. Boy, I wish I had you for an hour, but let me just ask you a couple of quick questions. One, the bottom line is you're saying that there's no scientific/medical evidence that supports gay is from birth.
There is research done on that. There are many studies. Well, let me take the most well-known, most authoritative association in the world, the American Psychological Association, the APA. Mm-hmm. Even they on their website say there is no gay gene. But for some reason, that's not being reported in mainstream media. They say currently, as far as they know, in other words, no one knows for absolute sure, that homosexuality is caused by a combination probably of genetic and environmental influences. Well, if that's true, I don't believe that. I believe it's environmental. But if that was true, then where's all the research that they are doing to look at the environmental, emotional causes? And you don't find them doing any research. They, in a kind of, in my opinion, in a kind of backhanded way, still promote through their language that gay is always inborn. So that's another reason why we put up this billboard, so that we could do our best to get out other research that they are refusing to do or tend to shy away from.
So what are some of those environmental contributions?
Well, in every, as you said, I'm a reparative therapist, and I have two practices. My entire practices are composed of mainly men who are dealing with these issues. And those causes, make a long story short, those causes usually are always a severe case of gender identity inferiority. And I emphasize the word severe. There's a lot of insecurity when they're growing up, and they grow up in a very inferior, unfortunately, terribly so, a very inferior mindset of who they are in their own gender. And then also speaking of men primarily, male emotional needs are in various ways not met hardly at all, or not enough at least, like a need for affection, same-sex needs, I might add, affection, approval, affirmation of their male identities. That often comes in the form of whoever the male role model is for the family. For some reason, not condemning anyone, but for some reason that connection is not formed. And so the mirroring that child needs is not formed as well. And also it represents itself in terms of a boy's peers. He's often ostracized because he doesn't know. He just, in many cases, grows up and other boys bully him and they put him down. And the boy grows up with a sense of inferiority. And so if he can't feel his own sense of whole masculinity in his own body, he will, in many cases, project that out onto other guys, and there comes the objectification of masculinity instead of the subjective experience within himself. And so an object becomes a sexual object in puberty.
Is it a matter of yielding to the homosexual pull or deciding to go that way?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Is it a matter for the individual, they're yielding to those attractions, or is it an actual decision they make to go that way?
Well, that sounds like a little bit of both. We don't believe that let me just say this, we don't believe that homosexual feelings come up because it's a simple choice, not at all. Now, as we all know, one may in their lives have many feelings, of course, and then they decide, sometimes instantaneously, to act on those feelings. But those feelings come up as a result of wounds that these children did not deserve. And when therapy is given to them where they resolve these wounds, their feelings change. Long story short version, but that's the mechanism of it. Yeah,
again, I'm going to have you back, David, because this is fascinating. Let's go over to those that you've helped come out of the lifestyle. How do you do that? How far back into their life do you go?
Well, it depends on each client, but I'm going to be, because everybody is unique, but I'm going to be very generic to at least get across as best an answer as I can give you. Most clients experience this emotional trauma. And by the way, some of my clients have all sexual, and that causes some of the homosexual feelings to come up as well. It's a contributing factor.
Right.
Anyway, we go back into the past because in most men's cases or boys' cases, they've repressed. These feelings are scary to them. They're confused. They're carrying a lot of inferiority and grief and anger, and they don't know how to deal with it, so it gets repressed. Well, and the kind of therapy I do, which is authentic reparative therapy, not the junk that you hear out there on the mainstream media or on the internet, we go back into those wounds and we raise their level of self-esteem. We get rid of any and all shame for having homosexual feelings. Because a lot of people I found in my practice think that you have to shame yourself to get out of homosexuality, which doesn't make sense. It's quite the opposite. And these boys, through the healing of these emotional wounds and then getting current day as best as possible, these needs that are so necessary that I've talked about, they find that their homosexual feelings spontaneously, automatically lessen, or in some cases completely dissipate. That's a short version, and it takes a lot of guys use a lot of time.
I apologize. Again, we're going to have you back, but quickly,
Okay.
How does one's faith play into this recovery or this transformation?
Well, I can tell you in my experience, faith for most clients has a big part. Unless the client asks for it, I don't take the therapy through the spiritual lens. I can do that, but I first respect what the client's beliefs are. Right. I have some clients actually who are gay. People are surprised at that sometimes. They know what I do. We trust each other. They work on other issues. They don't want to change, and I don't force anybody to change. I would never do something unethical like that. So on the other hand, the people who come into my office, 90% of them I would say are people of faith. And so they're coming in with two beliefs, basically, that something about homosexuality doesn't feel authentic to them on an emotional, psychological level.
Right.
And also homosexuality, of course, doesn't match their faith. In most cases, it's Christian, but it's not exclusive to that. So in the therapy session, whatever their beliefs are, we stay within that belief system. And if they need to, we see it through the lens of spirituality as well.
Fascinating. Where can people go to learn more about PFOX?
pfox.org. pfox.org. That's it. And I would suggest anyone contact them, because they are a great referral service that they can put any struggler or parent or friend or whoever in touch with a vast amount of resources, in some cases spiritual, but in large cases with research and professional therapy. And we're just really happy to be a part of this growing movement that is saying, with respect, saying no to homosexual ideology, because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, at least for the people that we give help to.
All right, I'm out of time, David. Let me ask you quickly, though. Are more therapists beginning to pick up where you are, or are they beginning to treat people like you are?
In my opinion, yes. There's still not a lot of people. I think people are basically scared of these issues, but we are moving forward with this, no matter what the media says.
Great. Hey, thanks for your time. Merry Christmas to you, and let's get you back longer and talk more about this, okay?
Happy to, anytime. I'm on it.
Have a great day. All right, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.